Currie, thank you so much for being here with me. Let's start by just getting your reflections on the 14 Yukon Party seats and the mandate that Yukoners have given you in this election.
Well, as a starting point, I'm proud. I'm proud of the work that our team has done. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the trust that Yukoners have shown in us, and I'm excited about getting to work with these 14 individuals who've been elected and joining me in the Yukon Legislative Assembly.
Yeah, let's talk about the 14 seats. That is a strong mandate, as I mentioned before. You know, tonight is about celebration. Tonight is about excitement for you as Premier-designate, but the work will begin shortly. Where do you turn your focus when there's such a long list of issues that Yukoners are saying, hey, this needs attention?
Well, there's going to have to be short, medium, and long-term priorities that we'll establish over the coming days. It'll start by transitioning away from the former government and establishing a new cabinet. And then once we have a new cabinet in place, we'll have to begin the work of taking decisions and taking actions and delivering on the commitments that we've made to Yukoners throughout this campaign. There's a long list of things we've got to do, and I'm looking forward to getting to work on all of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a little early to have a cabinet conversation, but have you started talking to anyone? Do you have any names in mind? You know, you don't have to reveal them, although I would love you to. But tell me what's been factoring into your thoughts about forming a cabinet?
Well, as a starting point, we had such a strong slate of candidates this year on the Yukon Party docket. We had 20 other folks who joined me that all represented an incredible amount of leadership, talent, and experience. And so I was really proud of the group that the Yukon Party put forward this election. If I'm totally honest, I'm not even exactly sure which of the 14 were finally elected, but I do know that there's some excellent people that have been elected, and I look forward to working with all of them as we chart a path forward.
You know, the Yukon Party Currie really campaigned on change, right? And there was definitely some discussion throughout the campaign that the Yukon Party has been in power before, right? Not for a while, but they have been in power before, and you were part of that Yukon Party that was in power, if not Premier-designate. So what will your Yukon Party majority look like? How will it be different from the Yukon parties of the past? What's the change here?
Well, the change is from the last 9 years of Liberal and NDP government. That's what we've seen over the last 4 years and 4 years before that of Liberal majority. And so we're going to see a change, no doubt about that. I'm not worried about what previous Yukon Party or Liberal governments did. I'm focused on the future, and I'm really keen to work with the 14 folks who've been elected tonight to chart a path forward. So we're going to focus on the commitments that we made to Yukoners throughout this campaign. We had a comprehensive platform that we feel is ambitious and bold, but also achievable and realistic. And so we're going to get to work on that immediately.
Okay. I'll note just really quickly that, you know, the Yukon Liberal NDP government, it was a Liberal minority government with a confidence and supply agreement from the NDP. So the NDP weren't technically in power. They were propping up the Liberal minority government. You had mentioned in your speech that there are challenges and some big decisions to make ahead. I'm wondering if you can tell us about some of the challenges you're anticipating.
Well, I mean, you can begin the list with the number of crises that we faced. I think we all agree that we're in a housing crisis. You ask any healthcare professional, they'll tell you our healthcare system is in a crisis. There are serious issues facing our education system, and we continue to see rising rates and severity of crime across the Yukon, especially here in Whitehorse. So there's a long list of things to do, and it's going to take a lot of effort for us to get started cleaning up some of the mess we're going to inherit. But I'm looking forward to doing that work, and I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues to chart this new path forward.
And Premier-designate, I do have another question for you, and it's about the Yukon Party, incoming Yukon Party majority government and the relations with First Nations in the Yukon and how you will build that. You had mentioned at the CBC Leader Forum that you thanked Sandy Silver for some of the work that he had done rebuilding those relationships. So what work will you do as Yukon Party Premier-designate to build those relationships with Yukon First Nations?
Well, one of the things I've acknowledged about the previous Liberal government was the strong work that they did to rebuild the relationship between the Yukon government and First Nations governments. They reinstated the Yukon Forum, and that's something that I think was a good decision and one I want to carry on with. I want to build on the work that's been done so far, carry on working closely with Yukon First Nations governments to deliver on behalf of all Yukoners. We know that in order to get things done in the Yukon, we need to have respectful, strong relationships with Yukon First Nations, and we're committed to that, and we want to see that through by working closely with First Nations partners at the government-to-government level.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Premier-designate Currie Dixon, and congratulations on your win.
Yeah, thank you so much.